When a woman starts ignoring you, most men do the worst thing possible. They chase. They send paragraphs, they double text, they beg for answers, and every word they type only kills her attraction faster. But the rare man, the man she actually respects, does the exact opposite. He says nothing. He holds silence. And that silence makes her question everything. Today, I'll show you why this works and how to do it right. Let's begin. Part 1. Why she pulls away. Every woman, whether she admits it or not, will test a man. Sometimes she knows she's doing it, and sometimes it happens without her even realizing. It isn't always a game. It isn't always manipulation. Often, it's her instinct. It's her nature seeking reassurance, looking for the answer to one question. Can I trust this man with my heart, my safety, and my respect? That's why her pulling away is not always rejection. In fact, many times it's a test of your strength, of your balance, of your ability to stand firm when things don't go your way. She wants to see, how strong are you really? Do you crumble the moment she withdraws her attention? Do you panic when she stops giving you the validation you've grown comfortable with? Do you beg, explain, or chase as soon as you feel insecure? This is the harsh truth most men don't want to hear. A woman's distance reveals a man's character. When she steps back, she's watching closely. Not your words, not your promises, but your reaction. And unfortunately, most men fail this test. They start overthinking. They replay every little word she said, searching for hidden meaning. They send long messages trying to fix the situation. They plead for reassurance, hoping she'll explain why she pulled away. They call, they chase, they beg. But what they don't realize is that their reaction confirms her suspicion. This man cannot control himself. He is ruled by his fear. He is led by his emotions instead of his strength. And in that moment, her respect begins to fade. Because here's the deeper truth. A woman does not fear losing a man who panics under pressure. She fears losing the man who stays calm when tested. And when you lose that calm, when you lose your center, you show her exactly what she needed to know, that you cannot hold yourself steady when life gets difficult. And once she feels that, it is very hard for her to see you the same way again. Part 2. The one thing that works. So what do you do when she distances herself? You do nothing. You stay silent. And that silence is not weakness. It is strength. Most men think silence means passivity, that it means giving up. But in reality, silence is one of the most powerful moves you can make. Because silence is not about ignoring her. It is about controlling yourself. It is choosing discipline over desperation. When you hold silence, you send the clearest message possible. I am in control of myself. I am not desperate. I respect myself too much to beg for attention. That message hits deeper than any words you could ever send. Why? Because women are wired to feel energy more than words. A man's silence carries weight. It forces her to stop and feel the space she created. She may not admit it out loud, but inside she feels your strength. She expected you to react like every other man. She expected you to chase, to double text, to plead for her attention. She expected you to prove her importance by making her the center of your world. But when you don't, when you remain calm, composed, and still, you create a ripple effect inside her psychology. You trigger curiosity. You force her to ask questions she did not expect to ask. Why isn't he reacting? Why isn't he chasing me like everyone else would? Did I misjudge his interest? Did I miscalculate his value? And that uncertainty is magnetic. Because in that moment, you are no longer predictable. You are no longer under her control. You become the mystery, and mystery is one of the most powerful drivers of attraction. Your silence flips the script completely. Instead of you worrying about losing her, she begins to worry about losing you. Instead of you chasing, she begins to wonder how to pull you back in. And here's the truth. That shift in energy, that silent power, pulls her back far stronger than any text message, apology, or explanation ever could. Part 3. Why silence is so powerful. Think about it carefully. Words are fragile. They can be ignored, misinterpreted, or twisted to mean something entirely different. Arguments can spiral endlessly, draining both people without ever creating real understanding. Text messages? They can be left on read, dismissed with a swipe, or answered half-heartedly just to keep you hanging. But silence. Silence is different. Silence cannot be avoided. It cannot be deleted. It cannot be reasoned away. It stays. It lingers in the back of her mind like an echo she cannot shut off. When you hold silence, she is forced to confront the space she created. At first, she may think it feels good, that pulling back gives her control, that ignoring you proves her point. But soon that space transforms. Instead of comfort, it becomes heavy. Instead of power, it begins to feel like a loss. Because silence carries weight. It sends the unspoken message: my attention is valuable. My presence is not infinite. My energy is not given cheaply. And deep down, she realizes something most men never make her feel: that your world does not revolve around her. You are not waiting by the phone. You are not chasing validation. You are not desperate to be chosen. This realization unsettles her. Why? Because she expected you to react like every other man. She expected begging, over-explaining, desperate messages trying to win her back. But instead, she is met with stillness, calmness, absence. And absence is powerful. Absence makes her feel the cost of losing you. She begins to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, where your attention has gone. She begins to question her own choices. That quiet doubt starts to grow louder than any words you could have spoken. And here lies the paradox. Silence creates noise in her mind. A noise of uncertainty, curiosity, even fear. Fear that she might have miscalculated your value. Fear that she is not as in control as she thought. Fear that you are not like the rest, and that maybe, just maybe, she is about to lose something rare. That is why silence is more powerful than anything you could ever say. Because it forces her to feel, not just hear. It makes her realize that your presence is a privilege, and your absence, a punishment. Part 4, the shift of focus. Here's another key. When you stop chasing her, you create space to chase something far more important: yourself. Instead of wasting energy overthinking her every move, you redirect that energy into your own growth, into your body, your goals, your mission. You take all the restless energy that would normally be spent staring at your phone, replaying her words, or analyzing her silence, and you invest it where it actually pays back, into becoming stronger, sharper, and more grounded. And here's the irony. The more you focus on yourself, the more attractive you become. Because women are not drawn to men who orbit around them like satellites. They are drawn to men who stand like a mountain, solid, purposeful, unshaken by storms. Think about it. A man who spends all his time chasing her attention communicates one thing: my life revolves around you. That energy suffocates. But a man who builds his own world, who has passions, who keeps moving forward no matter what, he communicates something completely different. You can be part of my world, but my world will never shrink down to only you. And women feel this difference instantly. They can sense when a man is needy and when a man is whole. They can sense when a man is desperately trying to hold on to her versus when he is calmly building something greater than himself. When she feels that you are stable, that your life doesn't collapse the moment she withdraws, she feels something rare: respect. And respect is far more powerful than temporary attraction. Respect is what makes her look at you not just as a lover, but as a man worth standing beside. Because at the end of the day, attention fades, looks fade, even passion fades. But respect, that stays. And the man who earns a woman's respect by focusing on himself, by refusing to crumble, by continuing to rise even in silence, that man is unforgettable. Part 5. Mystery and frame. Control. Another reason silence works is because it creates mystery. See, most men make themselves far too predictable. She already knows what they'll do the moment she pulls away. They'll double text, call, try to explain themselves, or beg for reassurance. And because she knows the script in advance, there's no tension, no excitement, no curiosity. Predictability kills attraction. But when you respond with calm silence, when you don't rush to fill the gap, something unusual happens. Instead of certainty, she feels uncertainty. Instead of control, she feels curiosity. And curiosity, gentlemen, is one of the most powerful drivers of female psychology. A woman's mind cannot help but wonder about the man she cannot fully read. Why is he not reacting? Did I misjudge his feelings? Is he stronger than I thought? That unanswered question keeps you alive in her thoughts long after the conversation ends. Mystery doesn't mean playing childish games or pretending to be busy. It means you live with enough purpose, discipline, and self-respect that you don't expose every layer of yourself instantly. You reveal slowly. You allow her to earn access to your world, and that scarcity makes your presence feel far more valuable. And then comes frame control, the ultimate test of a man's strength. Silence is not just the absence of words, it is the presence of control. It demonstrates that you are not being pulled into her emotional storms, that her ups and downs do not dictate your actions. You don't collapse into her frame, you hold your own. This is powerful because relationships always operate inside a frame. Either she sets the emotional reality and you react to it, or you set the reality and she adjusts to you. Most men unknowingly hand over their frame the moment they panic and chase. But the rare man maintains composure, stays grounded, and refuses to be shaken. And when you do this, she feels it instantly. She may not admit it, but deep down, she respects the man whose center cannot be broken. She relaxes into his strength. She feels safe in his presence. And safety, combined with mystery, creates a bond that is far stronger than attraction alone. Because at the end of the day, mystery keeps her interested, but frame control keeps her respecting you. And when a woman both respects and desires you, she will fight hard not to lose you. Gentlemen, the next time a woman distances herself or ignores you, remember this. Do not panic. Do not chase. Do not explain. Instead, stay silent. Redirect your focus onto yourself. Hold your frame with calm authority, because silence, composure, and self-respect are louder than any words you could ever send. And when you master this, you become the man she doesn't want to lose. Be this kind of man, and she will never want to let you go. Subscribe right now, because here, I share the truths no one else dares to tell you.